Welcome to another installment of This Is Not Normal on the Political Drain podcast with Drill Sergeant Doug, aka Admin Doug, a U.S. Army veteran, teacher, musician, and family man from Jamaica, now fights for justice and democracy through commentary and humor. Follow him on YouTube at Political Drain and at Sons of Liberty Official as Drill Sergeant, aka Admin Doug, continues to protect our freedoms.
About a month or so ago, a hypothetical was presented in a street interview and started to be shared around social media. Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
And almost unanimously, women everywhere have answered that they would prefer the bear.
What's up, YouTube? Drill Sergeant here. And I'm back. I thought for sure I was going to have a fresh beard and a fresh cut and be able to come back in like brand new pumpkin spice in November. Turns out things are still fucked up. It turns out that there's still important news to be had, and I can't make an entertainment show like I would like. It turns out that there are 60-something million men visiting a website that teaches them how to drug their wives and rape them. Here's the story.
There were 82 million visits to that online academy website. So hard to even say those words, which we're going to talk about in just a second here. Meantime, across the U.S., between 10 to 14% of married women are raped by their partners. And in 17 states, a spouse cannot be convicted of raping a partner who is unconscious, drugged, or otherwise incapacitated, all because of outdated laws still in the books. In the meantime, according to a survey conducted by the National Resource Center on Domestic Violence, 50% of male college students believe it is impossible for a man to rape his wife. And 34% said they would rape someone if they knew they could get away with it.
An online rape academy was exposed by a CNN article last month. There is a virtual network that spans across various chats, forums where men post, trade, and even sell videos and streams of them sexually exploiting unconscious victims. Many of them are the wives of these men. Men drugging and raping their own wives and even streaming it, taking direction from other sick men on what to do. I mean, I don't even have the words to accurately express the deep disgust and fear I feel for women and all other victims of this heinous act.
And 34% said they would rape someone if they knew they could get away with it.
I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to say to that. Because I've heard on TikTok and Instagram, men need to stand up to this. We've got to say something to this. Really? The fuck you need to hear from me? What would my words mean to anybody who saw that, especially a woman? Why would you trust anything that I said?
Now, you may have heard people say not all men, which is shorthand for not all men are responsible for hurting women. Well, when you have statistics as shockingly high as the ones we just mentioned, it's not surprising that you're seeing more and more people say it's all men until it's none of them. Meaning, until women can be sure they don't need to worry about being harmed, it's better to be safe than sorry.
The fuck you need me to say? What do you want me to say? And then I thought more about it. I said, well, you know what? It's not me talking to the women. They don't need this because they've been saying this. What they need me to say is to the men. And I said, there it is.
About a month or so ago, a hypothetical was presented in a street interview and started to be shared around social media. Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
And almost unanimously, women everywhere have answered that they would prefer the bear.
With a bear. Probably a bear. Definitely a bear. A bear.
This debate has quickly devolved into one side presenting statistics, personal testimonies, and criminal cases, while the other side taps the heels of their red pill slippers together, screaming, "Not all men, not all men, not all men," with their fingers jammed in their ears. Ooh, it's a random manga panel with barely legible text. I'll be here all week. I'm sure I'm about to read something intellectually stimulating. Remember, it's man or bear, not rapist or bear. Hey, quick question, weeb. Who's doing all the assaults then? Because as we've mentioned on this channel before, according to the NSVRC, 1 in 5 women has experienced assault or attempted assault during her lifetime. That's millions of women, and unless they're all being harassed by Diddler Dave, who is skewing the statistics with his incredible efficiency, mathematically speaking, there must be a non-trivial amount of men committing this type of crime.
You see, on this shirt I'm wearing, you may only see the top part. It says, Dad, son's first hero. On the bottom it says, a daughter's first love. It doesn't have much of a meaning. But if you're to draw some meaning out of a general bathroom, hope is love is kindness bullshit out of it, what it's saying is, you teach your daughters how to love, but you teach your sons how to act. You're their heroes. If everything is a Hallmark greeting card. In this vein, it makes sense. Who are their heroes? Well, let's look into it, shall we? Here's a stat. As it pertains to sexual violence, that of masculine control, that of the need of a slave, of a lesser than, to dominate over, as it pertains to those type of violent crimes. You, white men of America, are the worst. It has nothing to do with your skin color. It has to do with your heroes. That history that has been passed down from generation to generation of feeling that need to be in charge. 76.4 or whatever the fucking number is of child. It's funny. What I'm finding in all of these degenerate, gross, disgusting displays of power, this need to control others, has been learned from hero to hero to hero as they put up statues in the name of heroes who wanted to subjugate, constrain, and control others for their own gain. And as those things have been lost, the freedoms of other people have been gained, which means their control over others have been lost. They've become so degenerate and disgusting that they find themselves at a website looking for sleeping people to control.
He's coming behind us, walking down the street. We worry about going to our car late at night, but we don't worry about who we lie next to. I didn't realise I had to.
Zoe Watts may never know if the videos her husband made of her being raped were ever uploaded online, but huge numbers of videos are being posted by users who claim it's non-consensual. One website profiting from this is motherless.com. Last year, we began investigating a porn site that gets over 60 million visits a month, focusing on the thousands of videos featuring women who appear unconscious during sex acts. It's home to over 20,000 videos of so-called sleep content, with hundreds of thousands of views. One popular hashtag is iCheck, a way of proving a woman is asleep. We created a fake name and soon got into a private Telegram group that's dedicated to sharing sleep content with almost 1,000 members.
So some person will say, oh, I'm thinking about drugging my wife tonight. Someone is like, great idea, you should give her this.
The Telegram conversation makes it real. It feels like it's all happening there and that you're fearful of someone actually turning on their webcam and showing you, their wife there and then.
They're too weak to control people who are actually alive, awake. People who can even talk back or have a thought of their own. At some point, their heroes were the most pussified, weakest, disturbed people on earth. It reminds me of a MAGA racist who thinks that because they no longer can control women or can control people of color, that somehow means that their equality has gone down. As we get rid of DEI, as we make excuses, men in this country and others, as we make excuses for reasons why subjugating others makes more sense than allowing their freedom, it's only because we're weak. It's only because we can't compete with whatever the threat we think it is. And so we do really stupid things to ensure that we can maintain this false sense of supremacy. To keep that, even if it means we have to do something as stupid and obviously gross as raping people while they're asleep. When they told you that you lost your power, men, when they told you that you lost your power and your control, and the feminist movement no longer needs you, and so you did what? You did what? You rape them in the sleep? That's the power you have? You no longer have the intelligence to formally negotiate with words. You no longer have the fortitude, the spiritual fortitude, as you guys love to talk about in America due to white supremacy. In many of the South American countries that have lost their way due to white supremacy, you no longer have the strength, the fortitude to be a leader, to be powerful. You have to do it while they're asleep.
We've been messaging for months, this man and I, but he doesn't know who I am because I've been undercover posing as a man. We infiltrated a vast international network hiding in plain sight, and it led us to the same room as a man who said he was drugging and raping his wife. We created a fake name and soon got into a private Telegram group that's dedicated to sharing sleep content with almost 1,000 members. Users trade videos with the hashtag #iCheck, a way of proving a woman is asleep. One of them started messaging me directly. We're calling him Piotr. Piotr admitted to me that he had been crushing pills into his wife's drink to rape her in her sleep. Without encouraging him, I tried to find out how he was managing to do this.
So I'm going to send him a message now, and I'm going to see if he would meet with us.
By now, we'd worked out he was in Poland, and we knew roughly where he lived, but he refused to meet. And then, a tip. He let slip that he was planning to attend a party. That's him. I recognize him.
So we're inside the restaurant, and I've just seen him dancing with her. And at the start of this investigation, all of these men were faceless. And so seeing him tonight has just really brought home the fact that this is happening in real life.
We couldn't approach Piotr's wife without potentially putting her in danger, so we reached out to police about our findings.
It's amazing to me. The people, the millions of men who are doing this, the millions and millions of men who are doing this. Number one, there's always going to be a percentage of the people who are sociopaths or psychopaths or degenerate, humbug criminals. But for the most part, we've enjoyed a social power, an assumption of power as men for so long that the mere inkling of a woman being anything other than our property has turned millions of us into animals, into frothing at the mouth, knuckle-dragging, mountain-dwelling animals. And half the women in this country, at least, I don't know about the other ones, into stupid fucking idiots that follow them no matter what. Because they believe that they have a proximity to the power promised by the animal. But I'm not talking to the women. It's not for you. It's for the men. Grow up. Grow up. All of your heroes are soft, limp dick, undeserving, immature, illegitimate, unmanly, unmasculine frauds. And many of them, for some reason, are white. Not some reason, excuse me. It's an obvious reason. Because they've assumed power for so long that they have become straight up mentally retarded, slowed down, reversed in their progress. At the mention, at the thought, at the inkling that power was not earned, and they don't have the fortitude or the skills to earn it any longer. Allow me to tell you on my first day back, you may not like this. You may not like this. It's not about not all men. Who cares? It's 60 million of them. But white people, white men, you have a problem. That's this country. In other countries, the men who have assumed some sort of power there have obviously been doing the same thing for a very long time and getting away with it. I'm here to tell you, I'm not giving you any excuses. To the women out there, it should not matter. If I were you, I would be looking into cameras that attach to your phone, that have PIN codes that only you know. If I were you, I would be doing everything I can to ensure my safety, because the men out here are gross and unreliable, and they're rapists, especially if you're white. There's a problem in your community. There's a problem with your leadership. There's a problem that has manifested in its voting, in its gerrymandering, in its economics, in its policing, in its historical context. I only know about this country. I don't know about the others. I don't care. I live here. Your problem of dominance and control, and your need for this dominance and control in order to feel human, has turned you into an animal. You have a problem in the white community amongst white men, and it has to deal with your assumption of power throughout history as you've pillaged and raped and controlled everything from the other people's lands to your very own women. That's my take. I'm happy to be back, because no one else is going to say it. You have work to do. Also, direct action means maybe you need to be throwing some dildos. I didn't say throwing, I'm sorry. Holding, playing. The dildo distribution people. Yeah. You haven't seen them? Go to closertotheedge.com. I'm going to put the link in there that shows you the whole thing that they're doing. It's amazing. But they're using these, and they've got thousands of them now because they realize that they're so effective at warding off these ICE agents at Whipple in Minneapolis. And now around the nation, they're giving these away to people. They're passing them out because that absurdity in the face of this toxic masculinity seems to be the one thing that gets these ICE agents to back off. It actually works. So I want to help them get those donations for the thousands that they've bought. Also, the thousands were donated to them as well. But for the ones that they bought, they need to get that money back, and they need to keep this going because it's working. If nothing else, just to piss off those ICE agents. Email me, politicaldrain@proton.me. politicaldrain.proton.me. You email me, say, I want to donate, and I will give you the instructions on how to do so, because the time to fight is now. Hey, yeah, you. Before you click away to watch someone unbox a tactical toothbrush, let's talk about something real. Political Drain isn't just another content mill. We're a digital front in a very real war. Not with bullets, but with ideas, with action, and with solidarity. We pair urgent news with critical education. And we build community around actual resistance, not the hashtag kind. The kind that moves. But here's the thing. None of this is free. It isn't. Behind every video is time, labor, research, and some weird guy asking if we're going to pay the hosting bill. And yeah, some of that money goes to things we can't necessarily say out loud. If you know, you know. Let's just say our special ops aren't Call of Duty LARPers. They're people making real moves to protect, uplift, and organize. You're not just funding a channel. You're funding a resistance network in a world where capital still calls the shots. Unfortunately, in a system built on artificial scarcity, even mutual aid has a price tag. And if we want to grow, if we want to win, we need your help. We need your help. So if you've got even a few bucks to spare, toss it our way. It's not for ads. It's not for merch drops, but for people making moves in the shadows so others can do it in the light. It's just us and you. So fund the mission, fund the fight, fund the future, because nobody's coming to save us. We save each other. That's how this works.
That was the Political Drain podcast, which can be heard on www.groovechillradio.com/political-drain and can be viewed on the Political Drain YouTube channel anytime. Once again, thank you for listening to Groove Chill as we resist fascism in any form, pursue democracy, peace, and love.